Hello everyone, I'm Batpan, a bat who loves Dark Forest. If you played Feast of Fathom, you know how cool it is to pick up, drop and throw objects. Well, today we're gonna recreate that very system in Unity, and the best part is, we'll use a universal function that you can apply on any object you want inside your game. We've got more parts coming soon, and I'll link them in the description when they're up, so stay tuned. I published my own retro horror game called Fractured Psyche. If you're into this stuff, you can check it out with the link in the description. All the files from today's video are available on my GitHub. You can download it again with the link in the description. With all that being said, let's put on the mask and begin. Right click here, create a 3D cube. So this is a normal cube. Let's make a mini cube. And these are the three cubes we have. I'm gonna select all of them. You can select all of them by holding shift and selecting them one by one. And I'm gonna click on this add component. I'm gonna add a rigid body to each one of them. For the mass, I'm gonna give this one a 5, give this one a 2, and give this one a 10. This one is heavier than these two, obviously, and all the other settings I'm not gonna touch. Then we need to give each of them a tag because we want to do it universal and not, search for a tag, one by one. I want to make it universal, so each object with that specific tag would be, picked up and thrown or dropped. Yeah, with this one, for example, selected, go to this tag section, add a tag. I'm gonna call throwable. And again, I'm going to select each one of them. I'm going to click on this tag, give them the tag of throwable. And that's it. They now have a tag. I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it scripts. Inside it, I'm going to create a C# script. I'm going to call it Fears to Fathom, Take and Throw YouTube. Double click to open it up. So we need to create an interaction system in here so we can interact with stuff. First thing first, I'm going to create a new boolean which would actually check if we can interact or not. So I'm just going to say can interact, which is equal to true by default, because by default we can interact. We need a public transform for the held point, which is actually the place we're gonna take the objects onto. We didn't create, we're gonna go ahead and create it. Select your camera, right click on it, create an empty object on it. I'm gonna call it object holder. You can name it whatever you want. Be sure to put its transform at 0, 0, 0 at first. Then go to it, move it a little bit forward maybe, and a little bit down like here. So when these cubes transforms is set to this object holder, we can, see it like right here. We should actually see in the following minutes, so no worries. We need a value for throw force. I'm gonna make a serialized field so we can actually change it from the editor. So serialized field float. I'm gonna call it throw force, which is equal to 10F by default. You can, increase or decrease it to, throw it more or less. Then I'm gonna make it private game object. I'm gonna call it held object. Then I'm going to create a public rigid body. I'm going to call it held RB, which is a short form of rigid body. I will also create an interaction text or something. To be able to actually get a text file, you're going to go up here. You're going to add using Unity engine.ui, which will actually let us get a text file in here. So I'm going to take a public text. I'm going to call it interaction text. Then we'll go inside void update. We're gonna first check if we can actually interact. Then we go ahead and interact. So if can interact is equal to true, we go ahead and interact. We want to be able to take the objects whenever we don't have an object in our hand. So held object is equal to null. If we actually don't have any held objects in our hand, we can go ahead and interact. I'm gonna shoot a ray cast, so shoot ray1, which is equal to, this is the new method I'm using for my interaction system, which is actually I think better. I'm actually testing it out to see which one is actually better. If this method is actually better, I'll again create another video and explain it completely why this method is better. This new method is camera.main, which would actually get the active camera that is in our scene, the active camera, viewport point to ray, and we're gonna give it a new vector3, which actually says 0.5f, 0.5f, and for the z value, we just put it at 0. I'm gonna create a raycast hit for the thing we hit, which is hit 1. Then we're gonna say if physics.raycast, take the ray, take the out hit, and a distance of 5. If the object we want to interact with is in a distance of 5, we can go ahead and interact with it. I actually created how to create the interaction system like Fears to Fathom in Unity, but right now we're gonna say if hit 1, the object we hit actually has a collider compare tag. It actually has a collider and a tag of throwable. It should exactly be the same. Capital and small versions of the letter matter, so be careful. If we are actually looking at a throwable object, we want our interaction text to say, for example, take the object. So interaction text, that text say take, which will actually let us know if we can actually take the object or not. Then if we're looking at it and we press, for example, left mouse, so we're just gonna say if input dot get mouse button 0. If you're looking at it and we press the left mouse, we go ahead and pick it up. Right now I'm gonna create the pickup function. If you remember, we created a held object which is actually null by default because it doesn't have any values. We're gonna give that one a value, so we're just gonna say held object which is equal to hit 1, the object we are looking at and pressing left mouse on, dot collider dot game object. Now our held game object is equal to the thing we are looking at. Then we just say held RB. We're gonna go ahead and get its rigid body, so held object dot get component rigid body. So if we're setting it up, now let's go ahead and take it. So to be able to take it, we're just gonna say held object dot transform dot set parent. So we're just gonna give it a parent, and for the parent we're just gonna say held point, the held point that we created in front of the camera. So we're gonna make the object we're looking at transform equal to the held point. Then we're gonna make it transform at 0, so it is exactly at the same spot as our held point, which we'll actually see in the upcoming minutes. So held object dot transform dot local position vector 3.0, which would actually put it at 0, 0, 0. Then we're just gonna say held object dot transform dot local rotation, which is equal to quaternion dot identity. We're gonna go ahead and change some values inside the object's rigid body. First thing first, we don't want it to drop while it is in our hands. We're just gonna say held RB dot use gravity, which is equal to false, which won't actually drop when it is inside our hand. Then we're just gonna say held RB dot is kinematic equal to true, which would actually stop it from moving due to rigid body, and it is not gonna move. We created the pickup function. We can go ahead and create the dropping function. It's gonna go down of the if held object is not equal to null. If we actually have it in our hand, we're just gonna say else down of, you see, down of held object. If held object is not equal to null, we can go ahead and drop it, or we can throw it. I'm gonna create the drop function, then I'll create the throw function. I'm gonna say if I press right mouse key, I'm gonna drop it, and I press left mouse key, I'm gonna throw it. To be able to drop it, we're just gonna say input dot get mouse button not 0, get mouse button 1. We go ahead and drop it. So to drop the object, we're gonna do this stuff. I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can actually see it better. A held object, first of all, make its transform dot set parent equal to null. It is no longer a child of any object. Dot transform dot set parent equal to null. We go ahead and say held RB dot use gravity equal to true, because we want it to drop. Then we're just gonna say held RB dot is kinematic equal to false. It is exactly the reverse of the things we said above. Then we're just gonna reset everything. So held object equal to null. We make it empty again, so we can take the object again. Then held RB equal to null as well. So what if we press left mouse key? We're just gonna say if input dot get mouse button. If we press mouse button 0, which is left mouse click, we can go ahead and throw the object. So to actually be able to throw the object is exactly kind of the same thing. We're just gonna say held object dot transform dot set parent equal to null again, because we don't want it to be a child of anything. So we can actually throw it easily and not move with the camera. Then we're just gonna say held RB use gravity true, and held RB dot is kinematic false, like above. Then we want to throw it in a direction of forward. So held RB dot add force. Inside the parentheses, we're just gonna give it the direction. So camera dot main dot transform dot forward. So we're just gonna shoot it forward times through force. That was 10, and we're just gonna give it the force mode. So force mode dot impulse. So that is how you can shoot it forward. Then we're just gonna say held object equal to null, and then held RB equal to null as well. So that's how to create the pickup, drop, or throw function. First thing first, when we pick up the object, we want our interact text to be resetted so it doesn't show it again and again. So we're just gonna say interact text equal to empty. Right now I'm going to be creating a UI canvas, a UI text, which is going to be exactly in the center of the screen. I'm going to make it 25 is a lot, maybe 20. I'm make it bold, make it red so you guys can actually see it, which is exactly our interaction text. I'm going to select my camera. I'm going to drag and drop my script onto my camera. It needs a held point, which is our object holder. It needs a rigid body. Make this held RB private, not public, because we don't want it to be public. We don't want to give it outside the code. Then we're going to give it the interaction text. And that's it. To reset our interaction text, if you want to make an interaction text, go down of where we say if we hit something, we do this. We're just going to say else if it did not hit anything, we just want to say interaction text, the text equal to empty. And then if we hit anything other than the object which is throwable, we're just going to reset our interaction text. So else, again here, let's say interaction text, the text equal to empty. So one more thing to fix before checking it out is we just gonna say if input.get mouse button down, not get mouse button, because it's gonna introduce a bug. We can go ahead and check it out. So it says take, we take it. It is inside our eye, so we can, this object holder a little bit, put it a little bit down, a little bit forward. You can, change its transform to your liking. It is here right now. We can throw it or drop it. So right click, it drops. Take it, left click, it throws, and you can take this one. This one is actually lighter, so it gets thrown more, and you can drop it on this, and you can even take this one. Be careful, you gotta change those transforms so you guys can actually see it. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna put this one on top of this. It's not gonna work. Yeah, it is here. I'm actually playing basketball right now, and it doesn't work. Yeah, no. Yes, it is exactly like this. So that's how to pick up, throw, and drop an object in Unity like Fierce to Fathom. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, a like would be amazing. You can subscribe to see more contents like this. You can tell me any comments, any suggestions, any scenarios you have in the comment section, or just pure energies. I would be very happy to answer it, and if I can, I would actually cover it. Hope all the very best for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.